Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about storytelling strategies to supersize your nonprofit business. Now, I want to start right off the bat with saying storytelling is an incredibly powerful tool for any business. And I learned this working with the nonprofit sector. I've only worked with about a handful of different organizations that are nonprofits, but one of the biggest things that I took away from those experiences and use in other industries today is the power and the importance of telling a story and storytelling. Crafting a narrative that represents and that your potential clients and customers, whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit, can relate to and see themselves in is one of the most powerful ways to connect directly and authentically with the people that you're trying to reach with your nonprofit, with your products and services. There's different industries that do an incredible job of this. I think of the network marketing industry whenever I think of nonprofits, because they have an incredible way of sharing actual people who have experienced their products stories. A lot of digital marketers and online marketing companies do this as well. So they do it for other businesses. But what I have found is that your story, as a person that's involved in a business, your story, your origin story is, if you craft it in the right way, one of the most attractive, most compelling ways to engage people and get them involved in your nonprofit or your business, your cause or your business. The power of storytelling takes a cause and puts a face to it. And people remember faces and stories more than and how they make them feel more than they remember the details of anything. Remember, we make buying decisions and investing and donating and helping different causes decisions based on emotion, and then we justify them with reason. People's stories connect us to the cause and the emotions, and then we support our decision with objective evidence and reasoning. Well, it's an important cause. I need to support it. I feel called to support it, whatever. So how do we use and how do we take storytelling? I'm not going to talk about the semantics and the details of storytelling. I'm going to talk about the framework of applying this strategy to your nonprofit business or to any business. Like I said, I found that when I was involved in a nonprofit and helping out with a different cause, my story was the most powerful tool I had in my toolbox for connecting with other people. And we all have our own stories with everything that we've been involved with, right? We share other people's stories. And that's really, really powerful, especially when they're a story that the person that we're talking to can absolutely positively see themselves in or relate to. So whenever we're sharing stories, we get to pick and choose. This is a topic that a lot of business owners struggle with. They think they have to find the perfect story and use it for everybody. But the truth is, we all have millions of experiences and millions of stories. The older we get, the more we have that we can pick and choose from to demonstrate and lead and train and teach and be an example of for other people, depending on who we're communicating with. It's an incredibly powerful communication strategy. You don't just share. And I know people that are so good at this. I was recently in Texas visiting with my mom because she's had some health challenges. And one of her friends is an incredible storyteller. She communicates in stories. So whenever we go out for dinner or we see her, she's got literally thousands of stories that she can tell that illustrate the topic or the point that we're talking about. And if you do that for your business, it brings people in. They know, like, and trust you. And who do people do business with? Who do they donate to for organizations? Businesses and organizations they know, like, and trust. And stories help us to build that trust. I need a magnifying glass so I can see anything. So we want to craft authentic narratives that tap into the emotions that we want to tap into for the people that we want to donate to our cause or to support our event, our charity, etc. We want to do that same thing for our business, right? We want people that can relate to what's important to us because we know it's important to them and want to be in partnership, because really business is all an exchange of value. And so we provide value, people provide value back. We want to make sure that we amplify the impact by leveraging it across social media and across different networks and platforms. You know, my mom, again, was visiting her and she just came up to Wisconsin yesterday, so it's top of mind. She gets more mail than anyone I've ever met. And 90% of it, maybe 95% of it, is nonprofit organization marketing materials. They send little gifts, they send trinkets, they share stories, they share testimonials, they share everything to get her to donate money to them. And she often does, which is why she continues to get more mail than anyone I've ever seen. But the way they do it is something that all of us can learn from for our businesses, because they tie into emotions. They tell compelling stories. They share powerful stories that drive us to action, that drive people to action. And that's the purpose of storytelling, right? That's the purpose of marketing. That's the purpose of existing as a business, is to get people to take action. And usually it's the action that we want, but it's in their best interest to take that action. If we come at everything with the perspective that we're here to serve and solve problems and help people and help make the world a better place, the right people will come to us because we are right for them and our business is right for them. And that's especially true of nonprofits. We've all got horror stories about people whose money has been scammed by certain nonprofit or charitable organizations. And we want to make sure that our business never, ever, even has a modicum of stinky odor of not being authentic or not being true or not being real or not really doing what we say we're going to do, etc. We want to engage our audience through our storytelling and then actually engage with them. We've talked about different ways to automate that process, but there's some things that human beings to human beings really need to and ought to do. I mean, we've seen the tele fundraising things on different, there's so many channels and so much programming now, it's impossible to know what all's out there anymore. But we see that, and that they use stories and they bring people on and they bring entertainers and they do things and they give gifts and things to get people to donate money for, to use the law of reciprocity, etc. We want to leverage those emotions to get people to take action and support the cause. We want to leverage people's emotions to get them to take action. Now, sometimes I feel like this is manipulative, but if you're doing it with the right intent to really help the person, then it's not manipulative. If you're just doing it to make money and to sell as many products as you possibly can, that can sometimes be manipulative. But if you're doing it for the right reasons and to make the world a better place, I say go for it. And then finally, like any other strategy we talk about, we want to gauge and measure what's working, what's not working. I know people that test stories all the time. I'm still testing my origin story because what I thought should be my origin story is actually not like very many other people's. And so people can't relate to that. But I have the ability to pick and choose the parts of my life and stories that I want to share that more people can relate to than sharing the, oh, I dropped dead story. The, oh, I dropped dead story, pretty compelling, pretty unique. But I don't ever want anybody else to have that be their origin story for making drastic changes in their life and creating the life they want. All right. Love to know how you feel about storytelling. Do you tell stories in your business? Do you tell stories as a leader to help people understand concepts? There's a reason the Bible and Jesus taught in parables and stories, because he knew that that is what people would remember. And at some point they would have breakthroughs and understand the teachings. I know that some of my favorite college professors were those that actually taught the material, but then gave examples and told stories of how it works in real life, especially for some of the more challenging engineering classes that I took. It's like, I cannot wrap my head around this concept. And then the professor, the TA would tell a story about it and how it applies and works and give some examples. And then boom, it was like a light bulb went off. All right. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting strategy, what it means, where it came from, if I know, or how I've applied it and how it's worked for me in different of my businesses, as well as businesses of people that I work with. Have a great day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.